So I wanted to go over just the mods that I've done for my vehicle. So I thought I'd just show you what I've done. I'll just basically pause video. Honestly, I don't even know why I'm hiding my plate anyway. It doesn't make a difference. But to just edit this was a nightmare anyway. So this was what I was kind of going for. So I have the pre-OPF, pre-facelift version. And you may have seen some videos before on my Instagram of what it looked like before. But just to give you some comparison, this is the before and this is the after. So you can see a big difference. I even have a picture here of when I just changed the grille, and you can see literally just by changing the grille, I like to call it the mouth of Sauron. It just looks way more aggressive. You can see I actually had the old TTS sensors as well. And I kind of left this gray area here. I kind of left this and I left the bottom Daytona gray. I kind of left it, well, not gray, silver, should I say. So the original grille, as you can see, it had the gray accents here, the badges, and then it was black. So then what I did is I just basically changed the grille but left everything else the same. Then moving forward to now, what I've done is I made even more changes. So the actual sensors, I just wrapped them. It was a headache getting new sensors back in and putting them back in, so I just wrapped them in the end. I got the TTS badges for the front as well. And then what I did is, as you can see at the bottom, I've got a Maxton splitter that I put in. And then what I did very recently is I wrapped basically these side vents. I'll show you when I go forward towards the car. So you can see like here, I wrapped the side vents. I also got a body kit on the wide, and you can see, look, that is the Maxton splitter. And you can see as a bit of the wing flap here. I was thinking about putting canards in. I'm not too sure if I'll do that now. But then what I did also is I wrapped the silver area. So you see, for example, this area over here, I wrapped it in gloss black. So it kind of matches. And then basically just above the diffuser, this was silver. As you can see here, it's silver. And you can see when I actually got it done, I just kind of kept it silver, and it just basically stuck out a little bit like a sore thumb. So I thought, let me just, I was kind of going with like a black, gray, silver accent, but I just decided just to completely in the end just gloss it black out. So you can see, and then you can see, look, that's the sensors there blacked out. And then you can see the sensors. As you can see, I just put a vinyl wrap on top of this. Should have probably washed my car before I did this. I actually did wash it the day before. I should have washed it on the same day. And then you can see even over here, what I done is I even changed, just glossed that area there. Now, one thing I also did as well that I wanted to go back on is that I PPF the headlights. So you probably can't see it that much from this picture, but this would be a good start to see. I mean, I think it's night and day. I mean, if you compare this to this, like, it's just much more aggressive. But what I did is I PPF the headlights. Now, I actually wanted a very light PPF because I didn't want to reduce my visibility. So it's almost like there's no PP, like there's no actual tint to it. So it looks almost see-through. So PPF, of course, really important, especially when you got these LEDs. So you can see like here on this side here, when I zoom in, you can see that again is the wing. And then you can see, look here, I PPF the headlights. And you can see, look, I've glossed it out. So what I did is I just wrapped this in gloss back. And then the headlights, I PPF'd. I wish I cleaned inside the headlights first. But to be honest, I didn't really, it was too much of a headache to clean inside headlights, taking it apart and everything. But I really wanted to clean inside to get rid of like all this dust and all that. But anyway, PPF'd it so that way, and you can see, look, it's not even a tint there. You can't even see a tint. So that's protected there. And then for the sides, I just left it. Don't even ask me about the alloys. The side, I'm deciding what to do. Do I go with red calipers? Is kind of what I was thinking. As I was pointing to it, red calipers. And then what I done is, in terms of the wing mirrors, I blacked them out as well. So obviously by default, the TTS is silver, and I ended up blacking mine out as well. I was considering maybe blacking out the fuel cap, but to be honest, I like it silver. And the stance of the car looks much better. I think you can see that's a side skirt as well. Maybe I could have gone maybe a bit of more of an aggressive wing. I've seen ones that kind of come out a little bit more aggressive. But I'm thinking maybe in the future getting wheel spacers. Depending on, like, you know, if my insurance give me, if it's not too much of an increase, maybe getting wheel spacers in the future. And then maybe just lowering the car. The thing is already quite low as it is. And that's the thing. But I'm thinking, if I get some wheel spacers, maybe lower it, maybe like a centimeter. That is all that I'm thinking. Another future mod that I was thinking of doing, so the wing mirrors, as you can see, I've glossed it black. You can see you don't have the strobing effect on the wing mirror. It's just like a single light. So you can actually get the strobing effect indicator lights. I'm not too sure if I want to put them on yet, to be honest. I've not got them yet, but I've seen them online. I don't know how strong they are. The thing is, these ones are really quite strong. But yeah, I was gonna get a cap for this. I ended up getting a wrap. Because again, the good thing with all these mods is if I want to, apart from the grill, I can literally pull off the wrap here. I can pull off the Maxton splitter, and then the side skirts I can take off. I can also take off the wrap here. So basically, PPF, I can reverse everything. That was the main thing for me, making it easy reversible. And then if they want to, they can replace the badge and they can replace the grill. But to be honest, I would not replace the grill. I think the old grill just looks a bit too old-fashioned. So that is why I ended up just wrapping the mirror caps in the end, because I just thought, sort of getting rid of them completely and taking it off, I just wrapped it. So I'm thinking about maybe getting a strobing indicator light. I'm not too sure. And the reason why is because the front, as you can see, it strobes. You see that? So I was thinking, do I get it to match? I'm not too sure yet. If anyone has any really good quality ones, let me know. But at that point, I'm going to have to take the wrap off. I should have probably, if I was going to install it, I probably should have done this before the wrap. And the wrap actually looks kind of a bit weird when you view it from this angle, but trust me, you can't. The wrap is almost perfect. You cannot see anything. I don't know why it looks a bit weird. Maybe the reflection. And inside the car, I haven't really changed that much. So obviously I made a video on this, the Audi light that I've done on the floor, and the rest, you know, it has some LEDs underneath the vehicle, underneath the seat. And when the car's on, of course, I have the OEM LEDs as well. Apart from the gear shift changes, literally there's nothing else changed with the interior. I'm thinking about maybe putting an LED strip all the way around here. Just like one LED strip. I saw one guy on YouTube, he did it. It looked pretty sick. And this is what I was talking about. As you can see, that LED strip. Shout out to Daytona TTS on Instagram. But yeah, I kind of got the idea from this. I kind of saw it before, and I was actually thinking about doing it, but you know what? I saw it in this over here, and it looks really nice and subtle, and doesn't look a bit OT. So yeah, I am thinking of maybe just getting just one color, and I can even make it like a white LED to kind of match the OEM. So I'm not too sure yet if I'm going to do that, and I want to change the wheel. I might get this retrimmed. I'm not too sure. I don't really want Alcantara just because it might be a headache just to. I don't want to keep, you know, cleaning it as a bit of a headache, to be honest. But I'm thinking of getting the new LED wheel, the one with the LED at the top over here. As an example, something like this. I know the LED looks a bit tacky, but I can always turn the LED off. But I've always just really liked it. I just always wanted it, really. Well, I was thinking about going something like this. This is the R8 wheel. But again, just a very similar layout, and maybe even thinking of like retrofitting in like heated like steering wheel or something like that. But I think it looks really good. I just saw this on Instagram as well, and you can see over here the same thing, maybe like half Alcantara. But I'm either going to get the red stripe or something like this. But I actually really like the steering wheel, so that's probably the next thing that I might potentially change. But I'm not too sure yet because it is a bit pricey. I don't really want to spend $2,000, to be honest. But that will be the wheel. And then what I've done is, as I said, nothing else is really done here in the interior. Everything else is basically the same from when I've updated it last. Then I just put the light on, and then I've done this mod here that you might see on Instagram, just with the TTS badge over there. And that's basically it from that side over there. And then when I close the door over here, you're going to see now the side skirts. I washed the car literally a day before, the only day when it wasn't raining, and literally motorway one day, and it's already got finished anyway. Don't even ask about the rims. Some terrible roads that I live in. So now for the rear, what I've done is so this is taken with the spoiler not deployed, but the spoiler like makes it look much more aggressive. I don't like the fact that it's quite bulbous, if that's the correct word, and I feel like from this angle it's quite bulbous basically, so very curvy. So what I did is I ended up putting the diffuser in. This is Riga's diffuser. It's very hard to get a really good diffuser for the pre-OPF or the pre-facelift TTS. I originally was going to get it black, and then you might have seen on my Instagram that I just literally wrapped it black, but then it was just a bit of a headache, so I literally ended up just getting this one in the end. The only thing is, as I said, it's just a bit rounded. I don't really like it. It's quite feminine. It's obviously, of course, you blacked out the badges as well, but it really makes the rear look much more aggressive. With the spoiler up, like, it looks really good. Like, directly from behind, it looks like a bit of a shambles, but I think the side-on view, that is where it looks really good. What I am thinking of doing here is getting like an extension. So Maxton don't do it for the pre-facelift. So what I might have to do is I might have to get it and then cut it down to shape to put it in, and then maybe get a rear canard, for example, like this. This is what I was talking about. So this is, of course, this is the complete, I think it's Automotive Passion. That's actually their diffuser. Someone just basically just took the image, but you can see, get the extension and then get like a canard. I don't really want carbon fiber. I get it like gloss black. So maybe thinking of 3D printing something like this that can fit in. So that would basically go at the bottom over here, and then it will come up. So I'm actually considering that. And then what I'm thinking of doing is getting this spoiler lip, which I think will make, honestly, I think it'll make a big difference if you're asking me personally speaking. I mean, you can just see, for example, here with my diffuser, it'll look much more aggressive. So I think that will make a big change to the rear, but I don't think there's anything else you can really do. You know those fake vents? Some people say they don't like them. I'm a bit mixed. I think those fake vents just help make the car just look a bit more aggressive. Now I know, of course, this is an RS in a nice Nardo grey, but you can just see it just doesn't. It just, the perception of how it goes in, that fake vent, it just makes it look a bit more sleek. And just to give you a bit of an example here, like you can see, it just makes it look much more sleeker. Whereas this, as you can see, it just looks a bit more bulkier. And there's slight differences as well with this kind of curves. And then this one kind of goes in. So it just makes it look much more aggressive. And actually, here's some pictures I found from Max and Design of someone else who had the lip installed. And you can see, look, it just looks much more aggressive. I think he had this card lowered as well. But you can go ahead and you can get this, and then you can see over here, and you can see when it's open, it looks really nice. So that's what I'm thinking for the rear. As I said, we can't really do anything about this side thing here, but the rear, that's what I'm thinking of doing. I think with the spoiler up, the car looks completely and utterly. I think that's basically it. I don't think there's literally anything else I need to do to the car mod wise. I think after that, you can see that that's the logos that I put in black. I blacked out the logos. That was hard to get, and I had to measure it up. But yeah, I think that's basically pretty much done. I think the front, of course, looks much better. You can see one more final, and you can see from this angle over here, it just looks really good from the front. But that's just my plans, what I'm thinking. I think after that, I'm basically done with this project car. I don't think there's that much more. The only thing maybe that I was kind of considering was maybe getting a fixed spoiler. But again, I don't want to drill into the boot or the spoiler. Then it's not really reversible. It's going to have to be a fixed wing the entire time. So I kind of like the action of the spoiler, so I'm not too sure about what I should do with that. Oh, also, I forgot to mention the rear lights. I basically not PPF them, but just, again, same thing, no real tint or anything like that, just to make it look a bit more sleek as well. And that's it. I think the front is probably the biggest change, but I'll update you. I need to also get this badge. So if anyone knows where I can get this official badge from, it's hard to get the black version of the TTS badge, but if anyone has it or has a link, let me know, because I saw one, it was like really poor quality, but I'm trying to get one that I can just fit into the grille that actually works pretty well.